Brings you the first creature on Earth bullets cannot kill. He's gone. A blood beast that feasts on Earth's scientists. The first satellite creature to impregnate man with its chromosomes. The first exploration into living space, exposing secrets too horrifying to reveal. You'll know days of nerve-straining suspense. It's first-degree terror when you see Night of the Blood Beast.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 plays being shown in this area that I would sincerely like to warn you about. The titles Locket Ness Monster and Dreams in Stainless 3. These are without exception the bloodiest, goriest staged readings about cave-dwelling Scottish cannibals ever produced. This staged reading, truly one of the most unusual ever staged, containing scenes which under no circumstances should be viewed by anyone with a heart condition or anyone who is easily upset. We urge you that if you are such a person, or the parent of a young or impressionable child now in attendance, that you and the child leave the auditorium immediately. If you are at all impressionable, don't see them. Both of these staged readings are in color and 3D, which only makes the horror more horrible. See a staged reading if you must, but please remember, we warn you.
Locket Ness Monster. Glenn Pennycook, 24. Mary Pennycook, 22. Shawnee Bean, younger. Sheena Bean, younger. Nessie Pennycook, too little to remember. The setting is somewhere near Ayrshire, Scotland, and the time is somewhere in the middle. A small fire burns near the edge of a loch. A beautifully decorated wagon sits nearby. Glenn enters with a blanket draped around his shoulders. He sits by the fire. A wolf howls. Glenn quickly stands up and looks around, alarmed by the animal sound. Glenn gets up and walks to the loch. He picks up a rock and throws it in the water. A small splash. Another loud howl. It's getting closer. Mary enters. She stands next to him.
The animals seem restless.
Must be the moon. Is she asleep?
Soundly.
She's too young to be traveling like this.
She's strong. We won't be traveling much longer.
We have a long way yet to go. Inverness is at least a week away.
The first thing I want to do when we get to Inverness is run through the grass and swim.
You can do that anywhere in Scotland.
I want to do it there. I heard that someone in Glasgow say that the loch up there is special.
What did they say about the grass?
That it was green.
Another loud howl.
I don't like how close that sounds.
We've heard them every night since Edinburgh.
It feels like they're following us.
They haven't heard us yet.
Don't mean they won't.
I'll protect you.
I know.
You know, when I was just a little older than her, I remember getting this feeling in my stomach every night before I went to sleep. It was getting worse and worse, and so my mom took me to this place outside the city. There was all kinds of people there, sick people. I remember thinking, this was it. I was never gonna make it back home. There was this one night when Ma had to leave me, and I was all alone. It was so cold. My stomach started hurting like it always did. Then I heard a noise. Howl. And it comforted me. I don't know why, but I always felt like they were talking to me. Someone was watching over me. So the howling doesn't bother me.
According to legend, those creatures that howl look after people.
If that's the legend, then why are you scared of them?
Because they never looked after me. When I was young, my father died on a full moon night. Something attacked him, and they never caught the creature that did it. There was a large gash across his chest when we found him. He had a bite mark on his leg, bigger than a dog, and more vicious. Those howls remind me of him.
Strange how something can hurt one person and then heal another. Doesn't seem fair. How come you never told me about your father?
I don't like to think about it. All that howling, it's driving me crazy.
I'll go tell it to stop.
Please do.
Hey! Howler!
Stop.
Howler, would you please stop your yelling? Telling it to stop, did ya hear me?
Everyone can hear you. You're gonna wake Nessie.
Let her wake, so she can witness the protection of a mother.
You're crazy.
You love it.
Only a little.
Did you hear that?
What?
No crying. That didn't wake her.
I think I can hear the sea from here. Maybe when the sun comes up, we can stop by the sea.
Think she'd like that.
Mary goes to the wagon and grabs a book. She sits by the fire. Glenn joins her. Mary begins to write in the book.
What are you doing? Your head's always in a book.
I'm writing the story you told me about your father.
Why? I don't want her to read about it.
Yous don't have to read about it. She can. One day when she's older, she can learn about her family, our legacy, our fears, but mostly our hopes.
The Pennycook Family Diary. Wish I knew where that locket was.
It'll come back to our family someday. I'm sure the Queen's keeping an eye on it from above.
I'm sure she is. I just feel like we're weaker without it.
We're not. A trinket doesn't make us strong. Love makes us strong. Our love for each other and for her. It's unbreakable, unfathomable. As long as we're together, no howl can hurt us.
It's such a sweet little story. Really. It's good.
We mean you no harm. Please, we don't have anything you want.
How do you know what I want? I haven't even told you yet. It's a beautiful wagon, though.
What do you want?
Bodies, flesh, meat, bones. You know, the usual.
You're outnumbered.
Oh, no. Me wife's just over there. She'll be here in no time. She's just checking the parameters and all. Sheena!
Looks like it's just the two of them.
We don't have anything.
Oh, now that sounds suspicious. Don't it, Shawnee?
Sure it does.
We don't have much food, but you're welcome to it if that's what you're after.
Oh, I'd say that's what we're after.
We are pretty hungry. We have a couple of mouths to feed at home. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
I can look for something in our wagon to give you. And then you can go on your way.
You're hiding something in there.
Nothing you want, I promise.
Here you go again, telling us what we want.
Okay, so understand our perspective. Yous wandered into our territory, and my wife said, we're hungry, so...
Ma? Oh, yeah. You do have precious cargo.
Please, take what you want. Just leave us be.
Oh, we can't do that.
If you go near my child, I'll...
You what? I'd love to hear the end of that sentence.
Take the wagon. Leave us.
Can't do that.
Shawnee slashes Glenn across the chest.
No!
Mary runs to Glenn's side.
Please! Why are you doing this?
Why am I always having to justify what I'm doing?
Glenn tries to stand. He falls to the ground. Mary holds him tight.
Please don't hurt her.
Ma!
I'm here.
I can hear her howling.
Glenn, Please don't leave us.
Mary, I'll never leave you.
Glenn dies.
I'm real sorry about that.
Who are you people?
Survivors.
Sheena slowly walks to Mary. She lunges a knife through her stomach. Mary falls to the ground.
I beg you. Spare her. She's just a child. She needs her ma. She needs her ma.
Mary dies. Sheena looks at little Nessie.
Hey, sweetheart. What's your name?
The Dreams and Stains saga. Here's what you missed. Dreams and Stains 1. Shani and Sheena Bean find an innocent traveler inside a barrel in their cannibal cave. The two demons that live in the cave with them, Benai and Borak, try to prevent the couple from eating the traveler's flesh for fear that the meat is tainted with light. The demons don't know why the traveler can see them when no one else can. Together, the three develop a plan to help the traveler escape. Did it work? No, it didn't. Dreams and Stains 2. Shani and Sheena now have 5 children who live in the cave with them. James, Bonnie, Nessie, Alistair, and Angus share their parents' hunger for human flesh. Or do they? When a locket with supernatural powers makes its way into the cave and around Sheena's neck, the cave reacts in mysterious ways. Sheena develops a special connection with Benai, and Nessie struggles with life inside the cave. Dreams and Stains 3. A storm hits the coast of Scotland and causes more than one surprise to wash up inside the cave. Will the family be able to continue their life of cannibalism, or is their time up? Shawnee Bean, husband, father, cannibal. Sheena Bean, wife, mother, cannibal. Bean Nye, demon. Borak, demon. James Bean, oldest son, father, cannibal. Bonnie Bean, oldest daughter, mother, cannibal. Alistair Bean, writer, reader, cannibal. Angus Bean, aspiring golfer, cannibal. Sky Bean, sweet baby cannibal. Levi Reed, one-eyed monster hunter. Blue, a storm kelpie, boat sinker. Setting, a Benave cave in Ashire off the west coast of Scotland. Time, near the end. Scene 1, brother. The cave once again. The dark and dingy space is filled haphazardly with jars and trinkets. Pieces of human bodies hang on hooks as if by decoration. A small wooden raft lays on the floor, not fully finished or ready for a voyage at sea. Shawnee enters wearing a long brown leather apron covered in blood. His left hand is clad with a rusty iron rod. His other hand grasps tightly to a hammer. He stares at the wrecked sea vessel. He grabs a chair and sits directly behind the small boat. He studies it for a few seconds before reaching inside. He pulls out a small wooden figure of a sheep. He tosses it in a nearby barrel. Borak enters. He looks inside the barrel where the wooden figure was just cast. He reaches in and picks it up. He touches it to his tongue before dropping it back into the barrel. He goes to Shani and stands directly behind him, touching his shoulder. They both close their eyes.
What's the difference between living and surviving? You already know. We can feel that. I know you feel like you aren't doing enough, but you are. I know you feel like things didn't turn out the way you thought they would, but it's all right. You created a legacy, a new breed of person, unfazed by the sound of iron crashing in the flesh, and veins splitting and spilling warm blood onto cold hands. Teeth grinding on meat and skin burning to a crisp. This is what we live for. This is what it means to live.
Land, water, sheep, fear. Land, water, sheep, fear. Bones, blood, skin, here. Bones, blood, skin, here.
Shawnee inspects the small boat. He goes over to the barrel and looks inside. Borak watches. Shawnee pulls out various skin hide. He brings him back to the boat. He gets to work.
You think that boat is gonna be useful?
Oh, I'm gonna fix it. We could use it to carry bodies back to the cave.
Oh, we aren't going to use it out on the water, are we?
Of course.
No, we don't need to go in the water.
I hate the water.
Why would we not use it?
We can't carry it up and down the cliffside.
You mean yous can't?
Oh, what I meant to say is that you won't carry it up and down the cliffside.
I'm a grown man. I'll do as I please.
What would you even do with it on the water?
Fish.
We don't eat fish.
Maybe we should start. Widening our diets might be good for us. Make us stronger.
We are strong.
Keep us strong. I can help you with the boat.
I don't need help. I can do it.
You don't have to need help to get help.
Fine. Alistair, why don't you
I don't want to help. I hate boats.
He's never even been on one or seen one up close. How can you hate them?
I've read stories to know that bad things happen on boats.
Like what?
Well, for starters, boats touch water, and water is dangerous and unpredictable, so boats can't be trusted.
What?
Look, Alistair, you don't have to help us with the boat.
I thought it was clear I was never planning to.
So, James, how would you go about fixing this vessel?
We need to soak wood. We need to make the woods wet enough to bend. Once we soak some wood, we can make it fit into the places of the raft that are missing.
How'd you know that?
I heard some men talking about it before I, slit their throats.
Ah, that's my son. Now go and get some wood.
Shawnee sits back down directly behind the boat. Borak goes to him.
Look at me. I said look at me! Please. Oh, no. Keep looking at me. Oh, my old age has turned me into one of those demons that snaps. I was so careful. I didn't mean to snap at you, but seriously, look at me.
Shawnee gets up and from his seat and walks even farther away from him.
Who's there?
It's me.
Look, I don't know if you're here or not, but if you are, stay away from her.
Shawnee.
He looks directly through Borak. Scene 2C. The side of a cliff, aka the cliff side. Alistair sits looking out at the sea, and Billy Moore in his book. James comes out from the cave and ruffles Alistair's hair.
I'll be back before dark. Don't fall in.
Where are you going?
I'm off to collect wood.
For the boat?
No. I'm looking for wood so I can carve you pencils to write in your diary.
Really?
No, of course not. I'm getting wood for the boat.
One day you'll carve me a pencil. Keep dreaming. Keep the lookout.
Alistair flips through his book. He stops on a page and reads aloud.
Hear ye, hear ye. Gather round as I tell you the tale of the tall tale of Timmy Tam, who lives not by the rules of the land, but by the ways of the Tam. He thinks not of the ways in which he can help, but in the ways in which he can hurt. Monsters. He's a monster hunter, a one-eyed monster hunter who lost an eye in the war. Both of them. Both wars, not both eyes. A one-eyed monster hunter.
Alistair notices something in the water. He strains his eyes. Both of them.
What is that? I've never seen something like that before. James! James!
He sits back down and gets his pencil and notebook. He strains his eyes and looks between the notebook and the sea as he draws on the page. Scene 3, Feel. Inside the cave. A small wooden ball rolls onto the floor. Sheena follows behind, following a wooden golf club.
4, 7, 9. My counting is improving. This stick ball hole game is helping my concentration skills. What did you say? I said, what did you say?
Sheena.
What did you say?
Sheena. You can't see me, can you?
I can't see ya or hear ya. It's been 3 weeks.
She picks up the wooden ball. I miss you.
I know. I miss you too.
Don't understand.
Sheena moves around the cave. Bean-Nye watches. As Sheena approaches where Bean-Nye stands, she suddenly stops.
I feel cold.
Another small wooden ball quickly rolls by Sheena and Bean-Nye. They both watch.
I hit that way too hard. I rushed the pre-stroke.
Angus, how many times have I told you? You have to do a pre-stroke. How do you expect to have a successful follow-through?
I know. I'm not as good at this as you.
Well, I've been doing it longer. We can up our lessons to 3 times a week if you want.
Has like that. One day I'll be the best stick bowler in the world.
Where are all your brothers and sisters?
How should I know?
Go find some of them. Take your stick with you.
Yes, Ma.
Sheena looks for her ball. After finding it, she sets it down and completes a few practice swings. Her hands tremble as she grips the club. She takes a real swing and barely touches the ball.
Short game.
She picks up the ball and holds it tightly in her hand. She walks over to the barrel. Bean-Nye watches closely.
Bean-Nye, how much longer do we have?
Not too much longer.
How much longer do we have? I know you know. Please tell me.
I'm trying to tell you.
I can feel you here. I know you're listening.
Sheena walks around the cave. She stops and looks right through Bean-Nye. Pained by this, Bean-Nye grabs a bloody shirt from the barrel and begins to wash.
When we first came here, I felt all these cold spots all around the cave. And I didn't know what they meant. I just knew that they mattered. I raised my family here. And you helped me. And I need your help again. If something happens to me, I need you to make sure that the children are safe. James, Bonnie, Alistair, Angus, they aren't children anymore, but I need them to be protected. We need to keep them safe. And I don't care what happens to me, I care what happens to them. Please promise me you can save them.
Bean-Nye stops her washing. She stares at the blood spots on the shirt. She touches them lightly. Sheena suddenly moves to Bean-Nye.
Oh, you are here! You heard what I said.
I heard. But I can't tell you how much longer you have.
I know how much longer I have. My family.
No. You have time.
You told me your vision changes. Our actions today can affect the vision. The forces out of our control can change our destiny.
Sheena.
You know. I know you know. Promise me.
I can't.
Do you remember when Bonnie was about 18 and she tried to make that big feast all by herself? She hunted the dinner herself, brought it back here and prepared it, and she didn't want any help. She set the table, candlelight, our finer dishes. We ate with utensils! She wanted it to be so fancy and elegant. Everything that we're not. We all sat around the table and ate together. And it was such a special night. She burnt the meat, and the texture was horrible, and the flavor was cooked right out of it. And Angus broke my favorite plate, and Shawnee got so mad at him. But we were all together. And I remember thinking to myself that everything was worth it. Leaving home, the life we started here, and the children. Our choices were justified. Our actions had purpose. Maybe my purpose is over.
Don't say that. You have more to do.
It's okay if I don't. If you watch over them, and they have each other. We's a family. And Bodok are a part of it.
Those are keepers. You will always be our keepers.
Alistair, what are you sitting outside?
I was reading.
You haven't read to me in weeks. Maybe I'll sit out with you tomorrow and you can read me a story.
Sheena touches Alistair's face.
Ma, do you know much about the sea?
The sea? What do you want to know?
Have you ever seen things out on the water?
Nothing's out there, Alistair.
Have you seen something?
Why are you asking? Did you see something?
No. Maybe.
Maybe.
There's land off in the distance though, right? You can just barely see it.
Yes, there is a land far away, the Isle of Arran.
Have you been there?
Once before, but never again. I'd much rather be here with yous.
She hugs Alistair. He tightly hugs her back. Bean and I looks on warmly.
Are there creatures in the sea?
Like fish?
Like monsters who wear blue caps?
Sea monsters? Blue caps? Well, of course not! I'm sure you didn't see anything unusual out there.
Can something be two things at once? Can something be half human and half monster?
You've been reading too many stories.
You've never seen a monster?
There are some things you can't explain. And sometimes those things can be scary, but it doesn't mean those things are monsters. I don't know what you saw out there, but I do know that it can't harm you while you're under the protection of your dad and I.
There's a storm coming. The temperature dropped and the sky's starting to get darker. James is out there.
He'll be fine. Can you do me a favor? Can you go help your little brother with the body pile in the back? That area's become too intense.
I saw a boat out there on the sea, and then all of a sudden it was gone. Something sunk it.
Alistair, it was just your imagination. Go help your brother. He didn't see anything, did he?
You're asking me?
You've lived in this cave longer. Have you ever seen anything out on the water?
The water is full of secrets. Why did you tell him that you've never seen a monster?
Because from my point of view, I haven't.
The loud sound of thunder shakes the cave. Seen far, closer, Shoni works on the broken boat.
Hand me that chisel, will you?
What on earth do you need a chisel for?
Why, I'm naming the boat.
I thought it wasn't going out on sea.
Doesn't mean it can't have a name.
He uses his rod and hammer to chisel onto the boat. Sheena watches, then reads.
SBC.
Shawnee Bean Clan. Wait.
Sarah Brooke Christian.
Of course.
Why don't you want to go out on the water?
It's dangerous.
I think I'd like to go out on the sea. To feel how cold it is and taste how salty. It's been such a long time since I've been out on the sea. When you fix the boat, will you take me out on the water?
The wind is calm.
Sheena smiles and kisses Shoni on the cheek. Thank you.
You haven't ever seen anything out on the water, have you?
Like what?
Anything that you shouldn't?
No. James wants to take it out for fishing.
We don't eat fish.
Yeah, that's what I told him, but he thinks we should stop.
Oh, that's gross. I'm not cooking fish. The old cave will reek of it for days after it's gone.
You're bad at keeping secrets, Sheena. You don't think I know about that.
About what?
Sheena,
It's nothing.
have you seen her lately?
No,
She knows what's going to happen.
it's not that simple. Things change.
It's just, I just wish that
What?
you never saw her.
Why?
I don't like knowing that they're here with us.
Well, they were here first.
This is our cave.
Johnny, they protect us.
Do you tell her things you don't tell me?
I don't always see her. Sometimes I go weeks without.
That doesn't answer my question.
What if I do, Shawnee? When you're gone and the children are out working or with you and I'm left here alone, I talk to her.
I don't understand your connection.
I don't neither.
Well, why don't I have it with him?
I've never seen him, only her.
It scares me that you can see her. It makes me feel like you're closer to.
Closer to what?
Closer to death. Can't lose you, Sheena.
I'll always be with you. And the children. I can't lose you neither. Now go get supper started.
Shawnee goes back to working on the boat. Scene 5, future. James and Bonnie is part of the cave. Bonnie sits with her daughter Sky. James enters soaking wet, carrying a few pieces of wood and a small teddy bear.
It got bad out there quick. I've never seen the sea so rough. I found a little something for Sky.
It's adorable. You were gone a while.
I was just out gathering wood. Dad's gonna try and fix that boat.
I think that'll be good for him. I think he feels a bit useless at times.
He's older. He doesn't need to be doing half the things he tries to do.
Ma doesn't either. She thinks I can't see it, but I can. Something's wrong.
Nothing's wrong.
You always say that.
I make it that way.
Bonnie stands up and puts Sky in her little crib.
I haven't been out of the cave in weeks.
Baby needs her mother.
She needs her father, too.
I've never gone more than a day at a time.
But you're still gone a good bit.
I have responsibilities.
To me. And our daughter. I know this may sound harsh, but we have to be your priority now.
You are.
You don't feel that way, James. Even when you're here, you're always thinking about out there. And I know what it's like to be the oldest. I'm right behind you. We need to protect everyone. But we have to protect ourselves as well. Take care of each other. How else are we supposed to live?
When we finish the boat, I'll take you out in the water. We'll go miles away from here.
Don't need to be miles away. Need to be right next to you.
You will be.
Don't forget their brother and sister. Scene 6, float. Shawnee and James work on the boat. The cave is dark. The rain is loud. One torch lights his face. James hands Shawnee a piece of the soft wood as he patches the holes in the small boat.
Hey, how does that look?
Like it'll float.
Hey, good. Good. Thanks for helping, James.
Why is this little boat important to you? I know you still don't want me to go out on the sea with it.
Unsure. Feels important to have. I can't explain it, but it feels needed.
Thank you. I'm sorry I don't say that enough.
I know you're thankful, son. We know. Now, it's late. You should go to bed and get warm. Still look a little wet from the rainstorm.
Which one? The storms are never ending these days. I'll see you in the morning.
Shauna inspects the boat briefly before grabbing the torch. As he is about to exit,
Can I talk to you about something?
Is the little one down for the night?
Yeah. She went to sleep quick. Hopefully she can sleep through the night.
Unlike her mother.
I kept using Ma up all night.
Oh, James was the sleeper. You slept on your own time.
Did you ever regret having us?
What?
Do you think it would be easier for you to use Ma if you didn't have children?
No. Use children have made us stronger. We're alive because we're a family. Why would you think that?
Do you think James regrets having a wee one? Do you think he just views her as another thing to protect?
Only you know that's not true. And I know you both feel like you have to protect us, but we can work together. Take care of each other. You're so brave and so strong, and you help me more than you'll ever know.
I haven't been hunting in weeks. I miss it. I'm a little stir crazy.
I remember that happened to your mother when James was born. She desperately wanted to feel the wind on her face. We'll go on a hunt when the rain clears up.
Well, I've already made James promise to take me out on that boat as soon as the sea is clear.
Why, I thought that boat wouldn't see water. I'll never know.
You raise some stubborn kids. Guess we learned from our stubborn parents.
And I'm sure your wee one will grow up to be just as stubborn and strong as everyone else in our clan.
I should go check on her. James sleeps right through everything. Thanks for the talk.
Hey, that's why I'm here.
Thunder shakes the cave. He walks over to a barrel and pulls out that same small wooden sheep. He clenches it tightly in his fist.
Something bad is about to happen. I can feel it. She says that yous protect us, but how am I supposed to believe that when I can't even see yous? For all I know, I'm talking to myself right now.
You're not. I'm here.
Borak touches Shoni's shoulder.
Land, water, sheep, fear, bones, blood, skin, here.
Scene 7, together. Thunder shakes the cave and the rain crashes down against the mountainside. The sea sounds like it's getting closer. Shoni and Sheena's room in the cave. The couple are sleeping like sweet little cannibals.
She saw me today.
I don't like that she can see you. It makes me nervous.
I'm careful.
We come from separate worlds. You don't need to be talking with her.
I don't tell her nothing she don't already know.
Is that so?
It is so. How many times do we have to have this conversation?
Sorry. Let's just cut out their dreams.
They kneel down beside the sweet cannibal couple and hold their hands over their sleeping bodies.
Here, bones, blood, skin. Here, bones, blood, skin. I rebuke ye in Satan's name. And I'm closing any doors which my ancestors or I may have opened to ye and your angels. I renounce all of his angels and I declare them to be my enemies. I want them out of my life. Let Satan's demons come and make their heart colder in the blood pressure. In the dark air, they were bred. With fire burn, keep them fed.
In the dark air they were born. Through this bed a family formed. Protection here we will give, and forever here we shall live. Land, water, sheep, and fear. Sleep, my bonny birdie dear. Bodies, flesh, meat, and bones.
you seen her do that before?
No, I haven't.
It wasn't her first time. She looks like she knew already.
I reckon she did.
Some of these stains are old. We should have known about this. I should have.
What is there to know? She's coughing up some blood. But it might not be what you think.
Of course it does. She's sick.
And you couldn't feel that. You couldn't feel her sickness.
I should feel everything she does.
Not everything.
Mostly everything. Our connection has become unpredictable. Sometimes she can see me, sometimes she can't. Sometimes I can feel her, and sometimes I can't.
Maybe something's about to happen.
It seems too early.
Perhaps it's time.
She's worried about leaving her family unprotected. She mentioned it earlier. She asked me to promise her that we would protect the children.
Bean-Nai moves away from Sheena and begins to wash the stains from the bloody cloth. Burak finds a spot not too far from Johnny and gets ready to sleep.
They've hung them high in Edinburgh too, and likewise all their king, and the wind blows cold on their bones, and trade they hanging. They've hung them high in Edinburgh tune. Outsmart! They've hung them high in Edinburgh tune. These stains aren't washing away. I could really use a vision right now. I don't know what's gonna happen next. It seems too soon. I thought they'd have more time. Burak. Burak!
What?
Did you hear that?
No. I was asleep. I didn't hear a thing.
It sounded like a crash.
Of what?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Well, then how do you know it was a crash?
Get up and come help me check it.
Does it take 2 demons to check on a noise?
Yes. Yes, it does. Now come on.
The demons leave to check on the noise. Water starts to crawl across the cave floor, hitting Bean-Nai and Burak's feet.
What the hell?
Those waves must be something out there if they've made their way into the cave.
Blue. Did you see blue in your vision?
A long time ago. Past and future.
Bean-Nai bends down and touches the seawater.
The blue men of Minch. Are they coming for our keepers?
Blue foam, gray sky, cold water, dark. Hey,
That's how we got here. Creatures of the sea become creatures of the dark, become creatures of the moon. We came to this cave when the water rose. The sea brought us here.
it's here to take us away.
They slowly slosh in shallow water. Scene 8, Blue. The cave entrance. Blue throws Levi down onto the ground. Levi struggles to stand.
We really need a door that locks because this keeps happening.
Yous live in this cave.
Bean-Nai looks at Blue. Burak looks at Bean-Nai. Levi looks back and forth confusingly.
No, you sunk my ship. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to them. Who?
Excuse me?
This one was sailing the ship right off the coast. It was headed straight for this cave. I got everyone else, but this one kept swimming away.
And you brought him to our cave because?
The waves brought us here.
The blue men of Mensch.
At your service.
So you're a
A creature of the sea. A kelpie.
But you have legs.
Oh, what? It's an odd feeling. Think I'm transforming.
Into what?
In the dark ere we were born, through this red family form, protection here we all will give, and forever here we shall live. With Bunny still out of sight, Bean-Nai ushers Blue to the nearest barrel. The sound of a crying baby is heard.
Quick, put this here fella in the barrel. We don't want the keepers to see him just yet.
Blue and Burak put Levi into the barrel. Blue
ducks down out of sight.
Can't sleep in the storm. Me neither. We've never had the sea come to us like this.
Bean-Nye and Borak stand over the barrow where Levi hides.
In the dark we see our light. We know the reason for our fight. The waves they crash, the sea stays blue, and I would do anything for you. Land, water, sheep, and field, sleep my bonny birdie good.
Bunny sets Sky down in a nearby basket. She kneels down and feels the water on her skin. A crack of thunder erupts. Bunny goes to the cave entrance and disappears. Blue pops up from behind the barrel and goes to Sky.
Oh, who's this little cutie?
Why are you here in our cave?
It's time. You can all feel it.
Why is it time?
I don't have an answer for you.
Did you come here to take our keepers? Or us?
I'm not here for your capers. He is, though.
How do you know?
Heard him talking from below the surface. He's been searching for a cave of missing people.
No missing people here.
Because your capers ate them.
How do you know so much about the cave?
I've been keeping an eye out. I've been watching them too, you know.
Are you causing the storms?
This fella in the battle, he knows people. People in power. He'll lead people here if we don't do something about it.
Why do you care so much about this cave?
I feel like it needs my protection now.
But that's our job.
Not for too much longer.
Hey, that's what you saw blue in your vision.
I didn't know it happened this fast. I literally just had it 5 seconds ago.
Useless!
Creatures of the sea become creatures of the dark, become creatures of the moon.
Ah, shit.
Bunny comes back to the cave covered in even more blood.
Oh, shit!
Bunny rushes to Sky. She notices Blue standing in the cave.
How did you get here?
Me?
Who else would I be talking to?
Bean-Nye goes to Bunny and looks at her blood stains.
This blood isn't hers.
You don't look like a wanderer.
I'm not one. I won't hurt you.
Why are you here?
A good question.
Blue looks to Borak and Bean-Nye. Levi pops up from the barrel.
What is happening?
This is it. Found it!
What?
So we should probably do something about this.
Well, what do you want us to do?
As Levi is about to jump out of the barrel, Bunny pulls out a silver dagger and points it to his throat.
You're not going anywhere.
Blue takes a slow step back. Bunny points out another silver dagger and points it at Blue's throat.
Here it is.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Bunny turns to Levi.
Were those your people outside?
No.
You're lying to me.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Do you think there's more people outside?
I can go check.
I'll go with you.
You're not going anywhere.
Bean-Nye walks to Bunny. She touches Bunny's arm. She slowly lowers the dagger from Blue.
It's okay. You can trust him.
I can trust you.
You can trust me. I'm gonna go outside the cave and see if there are any more people.
People, you'll lead them to us.
No, I won't.
He won't.
You won't.
Blue suddenly moves away from Bunny. He leaves the cave. Borak looks at Bean-Nye before leaving. Bunny turns her attention to Levi.
How long you been living in this cave?
Long enough.
I've heard rumors. People been going missing around here for years. No one can find them. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Of course not.
From the look of this cave, I'd say now you know exactly what happened to those people. Every last one of them.
What do you want?
What do I want? What do I want? Well, let's see. What if I say, I want ye?
Say your shit out of luck.
You underestimate me.
You don't know me. Or my family.
Family. Where's this little one's da?
Getting ready to kill you.
In your dreams.
Levi quickly grabs Bunny's arm by surprise. One dagger falls to the ground. They struggle fighting over the other.
James! James!
Bonnie! You wandered into the wrong cave.
James finally notices the water on the ground.
I think after all these years, I finally wandered into the right one.
What the hell's going on out here? Why is there water
Well,
everywhere?
you're the right scunner, aren't you?
Bonnie, James, are you all right?
We're fine, Ma.
It looks to me like you're outnumbered.
Sheena goes to be nigh. She starts to go to her, but Shawnee stops her.
Sheena, stay behind me.
Benai motions at Sheena to stay. She puts her hand on Levi's shoulder. He kneels over in pain. Benai freezes. One of her visions. She lets go. James grabs Levi and holds him in a tight grip.
Looks like you're never leaving the cave, no. You brought the sea to us, did you?
Shawnee and James tie Levi up with rope from the boat.
I didn't mean to bring it with me.
What did you see?
Mom, who are you talking to?
Bonnie.
You saw something.
You have less time.
What does he do?
Ma?
Boy, what the hell is going on here?
Music's in our family, and the ground's wet.
Go back to bed, boys.
No! We always get left out of this kind of stuff. What kind of stuff is this?
Adult stuff.
You're barely an adult.
Well, what are we going to do with him?
We're gonna kill and we're going to eat him, but first, got a few questions for the kid.
Shawnee begins to circle Levi. James joins in, then Bonnie, Alistair, and Angus. Join them. She joins the circle.
Where do you come from?
You already know.
What happened to your eye?
Got into a wee scuffle a while back. The Wolver. Nasty creature from up north.
Don't seem nearly as scared as you should be.
I've fought monsters before. I track them. I hunt them. And I kill them.
You don't know what's coming to you. You think we're gonna kill you fast.
It will be slow enough for you to think about every little thing that's ever in your life led you to this very cave. The pain will be just enough to keep you alive. You won't be as lucky as your people out there. Bloody gets made me waste them over the cliff.
Now, I'm gonna ask you again. Where do you come from?
Lokranza! Is it beginning to click?
No. What are you doing here?
It's all over.
What's over?
People have been going missing around these parts for years.
Well, they're not here.
Not anymore. Some of them look like they've had pieces around here still, though. I've been looking for this cave for a long time. I heard stories about wild animals or changelings killing people.
Well, no wild animals or changelings here. Just people.
Are there people here? I don't see any.
Oh, you've got a hell of a lot of nerve coming in here talking to us like that.
You don't know us.
That's where you're wrong. And I do have business here. Years ago, my sister went missing. She was on her way to Inverness, but her party never made it. There was no trace of her. I've been looking for her for years, but she was here the whole time, wasn't she? I've ripped this country apart looking for her, lock to lock, hill to hill, coast to coast, castle to castle. No trace of her. Then I heard a rumor about wanderers going missing. No one knew where they went. People said there was a pack of wild animals roaming the country that snatched people in the middle of the night. Creatures of lochs and seas were blamed. There were sightings of half men, half beasts, even. No one could explain how so many people went missing traveling through Scotland. They say that over 800 people have disappeared. monsters took 800.
It's got to be more than that, doesn't it, Sheena?
That number does seem a wee bit low.
What happened to you?
We were hungry. And we're still hungry.
You would think that I'd be the one to not recognize you. Not the other way around. Think hard, you two! Think hard!
Nothing. I've got nothing.
Come on, you can trust me. You did once before.
What are you talking about?
Alexander! Alexander! Alexander, 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 Alexander! We used to work together. Don't you remember? I worked for Sir McDaniel.
McDaniel.
Ding, 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 ding. Now your brains are working. The memories are coming back to you, aren't they? What we did was unforgivable. Compared to this, maybe it wasn't so bad. What's a murder or two in them early days? How old was the first one, Alexander? The same age as that thing right there. He was just doing his job. Watching over his sheep for his dad. Surely his life wasn't worth a set of knuckle bones from a sheep. All for a children's game.
McDaniel boys. Father was a toy maker. He used to make small wooden sheep for the children in town. How could I forget that?
I didn't mean to kill the boy.
The first one, maybe. The second one, and all the rest after that, not so sure.
You said no one would get hurt. I just wanted to work hard and provide for her.
Damn good job you've done. You don't even recognize her, did you? They will come.
Who?
They will come!
Tell us!
They will come!
James takes a lid from a nearby barrel and slams it against the back of Levi's head.
Oh, James!
It was getting on my nerves. No one's coming.
I'm gonna enjoy eating this one. James, go and get the ropes.
Ronnie picks up Sky and leaves behind James.
Alistair, Angus, can you go outside? Father and I need to talk.
Sheena looks back at Enai. Enai looks back at Sheena, and they nod gently. She motions for Borak to follow her. The demons disappear into the cave.
No one's coming.
One day someone is gonna find out.
They won't.
But what if it's not cold enough?
Sheena, how many times have we had this conversation, and how many times has someone found out what we're up to? We're fine.
She said we don't have as long as she thought.
We control how long we've got.
We don't. You know that. I won't let this family fall because we were too stubborn to see what was right in front of us.
We won't fall.
You don't know that.
You're always reminding me of things I don't know.
You always forget how much you don't know. Do you remember what it felt like? The first time you killed someone.
No.
She paces the cave floor. She collapses onto the floor. Enai goes to her.
I don't know what's wrong with me. All I know is that it's getting worse. They'll all know soon enough.
I should have known sooner. You should have told me.
Told you what? That I was dying.
It bothers me that I didn't know. I should have felt it. Maybe I did, and I just didn't want it to be true.
I thought the closer I got to death, the stronger our connection would get. What did you see when you touched him? How much time do we have?
Less time, Sheena. You've done so much. So many horribly amazing things. It's okay if you die.
What will happen to you?
I'll survive. I'll change.
You'll find another keeper?
I'm not so sure anymore.
If I die before they come, whoever they might be, you will look after them, right?
I will do everything I can for you and your family. I've known something for a long time. I know what's going to happen to your family. Throughout the years, a few things have changed here and there, but something does happen. They will feel pain. But only because you did such horribly amazing things.
Then
Isn't it about time for breakfast?
Sheena stands up. She pulls herself together. She is the matriarch of this cannibal family, damn it.
Of course! I'll get it ready.
Angus swings his club around. He hits the bench where Levi resides a few times. Sheena sets the table. Angus takes a few practice swings. Alistair takes a seat at the table while Sheena gets the fire started. With Alistair distracted in his book, Sheena busy with the fire, and Angus concentrated on his swing, Levi slowly stands up from the barrel. The rope's loose around him. He quickly grabs Angus by surprise. Levi holds a golf club to Angus's throat. He whispers in his ear.
You scream. You die.
Sheena looks up at Levi holding Angus hostage. She moves toward them.
You move. He dies. That's how it works.
You let my son go.
Why should I? You probably fed him my sister. You deserve to feel the pain she felt.
This is our cave. You don't dictate anything that happens here. We do. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise this morning. This is the last time you'll ever see the light of day again. You will die slowly, painfully, horribly, and beautifully. I will feed you to my children.
Alistair comes up from behind Levi and knocks him in the head with a book. He falls back down into the meadow.
That's twice now.
Luke comes into the cave. He's badly wounded. Sheena, Angus, and Alistair stare at him. He collapses onto the ground.
Well, did we order in?
Oh, check on it. Alistair inspects Blue. He looks through his book. His eyes glance between Blue and the page in his book.
This here is a dead sea monster. It smells like the sea.
It looks like the sea. Can we eat it?
Notice his blue cap.
See it? It seems edible enough. Maybe we can have some of it for lunch. I think we already have breakfast plans.
Scene 9, breakfast. Breakfast is served. The Bean-Eye family sits around the table. They are hungry, very hungry. Bean-Eye watches nervously. Blue's body is by the fire. Shawnee gets up from the table and pulls Levi up.
Wake up!
He shakes Levi until he comes to. Sheena goes to the fire and stirs the pot that sits on it.
Time for breakfast. We're gonna take this nice and slow.
James gets up and grabs Levi's hand. He pulls a cleaver from his pocket. He chops off one of his fingers.
No point in screaming. No one can hear ya.
James cuts off another finger.
Fine. Don't listen to me.
He cuts off another finger. He throws him into the giant pot that sits on the fire. She stands above the pot with seasoning. Her hand trembles as she adds the spices.
That meat will cook right off of those little bones.
Shawnee and James grab Levi and pull him onto the table. Bonnie takes out an axe and holds it to Levi's neck. She lightly drags it all over his body. She stops between his shoulder and elbow.
This is gonna hurt. Alistair, ready.
He picks up the cutter, eggs, and knife out of the fire.
Ready?
Bonnie slams the axe onto Levi. Levi screams as Bonnie pulls his bloody arm away from his body. Alistair presses the burning hot knife from his wound. Levi screams and Bonnie tosses his arm into the pot. Sheena
Sure thing, Mom.
Bonnie gets the candlesticks from the shelf and puts them on the table.
Are you gonna light them?
Oh, right. She gets up, takes the candles and lights them in the fire below the pot. She puts the candles back onto the table.
Alistair, why don't you read us one of your stories?
Ah, yes. Read our guest a story.
Shawnee pats Levi a few times on the chest.
Don't you want my son here to read you a story?
I'd say that's a yes. Go for it, Ali.
I have a good one. Dear Diary, it seems as though I have found myself in quite a spot. You see, I am literally inside of a barrel. Not just that, this barrel is inside of a cave. I also fear that the inhabitants of this cave may not be the warmest of people. That's my favorite part, because it's so true. It's just a feeling I have, that feeling. So far, this case is not going according to plan. The only light spot in the seamlessly endless darkness is my hope that I still have to crack this case. I will find the relic and bring it back to its proper place. I'm sure he hasn't traveled too far ahead of me in this cold. Until next time.
How many times can you read us that story?
It's not even a story, just like a tiny part of one.
Well, I like hearing your brother tell it.
Sheena takes a sample of meat from the pot.
It's missing something.
Sea creature, perhaps?
Sheena goes to Blue and cuts off his hand. She throws it in the pot.
Smells like fish.
It came from the sea.
I saw it in the water earlier. I recognize its blue cat.
Sheena takes another sample of the meat.
Medium rare. Breakfast is served.
Sheena stabs one of the arms in the pot and pulls it out. She slams it down on the table. She stabs the other arm and sets it on the other side of the table. She goes back to the pot and stirs. She pulls bowls off the shelf and fills each one with pot contents of the hands and the bowls into her family before filling her own. The entire family sits down at the table.
Well, we forgot the drinks. I'll get them.
Angus gets up from the table and grabs each family member's jars. He hands them out before filling a large jar with juice. What kind of juice? You don't want to know. He fills everyone's jar and takes a seat.
Are we good?
They're wonderful.
Smells delicious, Ma.
Oh, thank you, James.
They eat the arms and sip the arm soup and dip pieces of the arm meat into the soup and drink their juice. They do it all.
This tastes a little different than normal.
It's the fish.
And I tried a few different seasonings this time. A new combination.
It's delicious.
What do you call it?
Why don't we ask it? Hey, fella.
Alistair pokes Levi.
What's your name again?
He barely moves.
He asked for your name.
He's in too much pain to talk. Pity.
My name is Reed.
No, I know what to call it. Timmy Tam.
What's Timmy Tam?
I read about him in one of my books. It's a one-eyed monster hunter. And this here fella only has one eye. And he hunts monsters. So we's eating Timmy Tam soup.
Timmy Tam soup. I'll have to remember that.
Timmy Tam. You want some Timmy Tam soup, you do?
James pours some soup into Levi's mouth. It drips all over his face as Levi tries to avoid eating his own soup. Understandably.
Got some on the table.
No, it's all right. I'll clean it.
Ma, are you all right? Do you need me to get you something?
I'm fine, Alistair. It's just a week off. It'll pass. It'll pass. Let's finish eating, shall we?
They continue to eat their breakfast. Sky begins to cry from the other room. James gets up from the table and returns carrying Sky later. In the safety of his father's arms, she no longer cries. He sits back down next to Bunny. The pair give their attention to Sky. Alistair reads from his book as he eats his breakfast, and Angus grips his golf club as he eats. Shawnee looks at Sheena and reaches for her hand. She grabs it tightly. They smile at their family. Bean now watches. Angus notices something floating in the dark corner of the cave. He gets up to see what it is. The boat floats in the water. He pulls it to the middle of the cave.
It's floating.
Barely.
Ma, why don't you get in?
Only if you get in there with me.
Sheena sits in the boat. Angus sits on the opposite side. James gets up and hands Sky to Angus. Sheena reaches out and touches the little amount of seed still left in the cave.
When the sea tells you the time, and the rocks are no longer kind, when the sky turns from blue to gray, and the rain comes forever stay, we all will rise, we all will rise, we all will sing, we all will sing. Some will live and some will die. The morning time is drawing nigh. The animals graze and eat from grass. The people toast and raise a glass. We all will rise, we all will rise. We all will sing, we all will sing. History will tell our story in all its beautiful, bloody glory.
Oh, what could possibly go wrong? The deafening sound of an explosion rockets through the cave. Boom! Scene 10 cut. They came. James, Bonnie, Alistair, and Shawnee are still at the table. Sheena, Angus, and Sky are in the boat. Another resounding blast shakes the cave.
The hell was that?
The torches fall in the water. Complete darkness. It's getting closer. Light suddenly appears as Shawnee holds the newly lit torch. Borak now stands in the cave. He clutches his side in pain. Benai rushes to him.
What happened?
The cave. There's dozens of it. I'm sorry. I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop them.
You did good, Bo. You did what you were supposed to do. You let them have one last moment together.
This is what it means to live. This is what it means to die.
Borak collapses onto the ground. He dies. Benai takes a moment with him. She slowly rises. She goes to Sheena and grabs her hand.
They're coming. You keep them safe.
Safe.
Two will survive. You did great things. We did.
The family stands frozen in time.
Don't be scared. History will tell our story in all its beautiful, bloody glory.
Scene 11, Edinburgh. Shawnee.
It was slower than I thought it would be. The city was so far away, and the journey was devastating. I was put on display, tied up for people to witness my death. They tied both my arms with a rope and pulled. Slowly my bones broke, and my meat separated from my body. Stood there frozen, watching him slowly dying. I thought of James. I could hear him screaming next to me. I thought of my Bonnie. I had to close my eyes because I couldn't bear to watch her in pain. Angus, Alistair, Sheena. I didn't think about the people we killed. There were too many.
James.
I didn't last as long as Da. I guess I could have predicted that. My left arm came right off, like ripping paper. It was my right arm that put up a fight, but it lost in the end. We all did. My little Sky. I feel like I failed. Like I could have done more. I should have protected the family. I remember thinking of Bonnie. I could see her. It was my worst nightmare.
Bonnie. I was tied to a wooden stake in the middle of the cobblestone street. Pile of wood beneath my feet. I knew what was coming. But I was wrong. I thought that the rain would cause some sort of delay. As the fire approached my legs, I thought of Sky. As it burned my legs, I thought of James. As it burned my body, I thought of my mother and my father and my brothers. I even thought of my sister. The fire burned my ring deep into my skin. But the pain, it just stopped all train of thought eventually. Soon I was just gone. Burned into nothingness, except for the ring.
Angus, my eyes were blurry. I remember hoping Dad didn't see how blurry my eyes were. I should have been stronger. Or maybe not. Maybe I was strong enough. Maybe I was brave enough. I miss them already. Especially Ma. I was able to look around after my eyes cleared and before I blacked out from the pain. I saw a man with a red feather standing in front of me. Behind him, I could see Edinburgh. The city was beautiful. It would have been a nice place to live. A very nice place to live.
Alistair. He holds a single jar filled with Timitam juice.
I survived. Sky and I hid in a barrel. I don't know how, but they never found us. They looked in every single barrel. They covered every single inch of that cave, but they never found us. It was like we were protected. Something was protecting us. When they left with our family, Sky and I took the SBC out onto the sea. I hated being on the sea. It was rough and cold, and it tasted like rotten salt. We sailed to La Cronza. We started over. We survived. We lived. And we will never forget where we came from. I will tell Sky stories about how her parents were strong and brave, how her grandfather protected us, and her grandmother sang to us.
Alistair pulls out the traveler's diary from his pocket.
All of the books wouldn't fit on the boat, but this one did.
Sheena.
I never even made it to Edinburgh. After a few hours, my coughing got worse and it wouldn't stop. I kept coughing up red. And I was lucky. Almost everyone was with me, and I was happy. Bonnie sang to me. In the dark ere we were born, through this thread of family formed, protection here we all will give, and forever here we shall live. In the dark ere we were bred, with fire burn and keep us fed, the echoes heard o'er on the hill, will carry down to soon be killed. In the dark we see our light, we know the reason for our fight. The waves they crash
hung our bodies out of the street. Cold wind touching our bones. The rain washing the blood down the cobblestone street. We lived happily for years with them. When I closed my eyes for the last time, I saw everyone. Shawnee, James, Bonnie, Alistair, Angus, Nessie, O'Doc, and her. She was washing the bloodstains out of one of my shirts. She always did that for me. And I hope I was able to protect her the way that she protected me. We were grateful for our time in the cave. With them. And with each other.
Scene 12. Over. Bean-Nye is alone in the cave. Family tables overturned. The jars are broken and the fire is out. Bean-Nye holds a piece of Sheena's blood-soaked clothing. She kneels down and begins to scrub.
They hung them high in Edinburgh too, and likewise all their king, and the wind blows cold on their bones, and tray they hanging. Out, smart! They've hung them high in Edinburgh tune, and likewise all their kin. You never listen. They've hung them high in Edinburgh tune. They've hung them high in Edinburgh tune. They've hung them high. They've hung them high.
He was always singing.
I know it. Wait a minute. You're dead.
Shit, I thought so too.
Turns out you can't. Who'd have thought?
I sure didn't. Can Howlers die?
No. Not sure. Let's hope not.
Our last keepers are my favorite.
Blue suddenly emerges from the darkness. He startles Bean-Nye. He is missing a hand.
I know yous was dead.
I was dead. But they ate my hand.
Takes a seat next to Bean-Nye, feeling where his hand used to be.
It's an old feeling.
Are you gonna protect the cave now?
I'll protect the cave. Don't worry. Probably don't need both hands to do that.
You always have a stain to get out.
There's always a stain, ain't it?
Remember when that tainted traveler got stuck in the barrel? Good times. I miss this cave.
Me too.
Oh, I love what you done with the place!